March control. Affirmative. Engage and destroy. I repeat, engage and destroy. There he is. He's all yours, Cookie.
Picture for those who haven't seen it, we're sorry. First of all, shame on you, but it's the fictional LAPD Astro Division. It's called the Astro Division because the LAPD, although they consulted on this, and my grandfather was part of this at the time, they didn't want any attachments to it given the subject matter of the film itself. But it opens with a pilot, Vietnam veteran Frank Murphy, which I understand the original draft by Dan O'Bannon of Alien fame was much more centered around Murphy as being sort of a nut job from the Vietnam War, like a taxi driver type. But so he, takes on a new observer, Daniel Stern, Home Alone, who we all love, Diner. And they introduce us as the audience through what they do, which is aerial surveillance for the department, right? Essentially, or support. Air support is what I think they refer to it to in the movie. And the scene that Jeremy's talking about is right out of the gate because it's the thing that actually gets them in trouble. They decide to get off their flight pattern and go see a yoga. I want to say yoga instructor, but that's never defined. But a woman doing yoga in Encino, right? And then
Daniel Stern says, "Is she an actress? I hope she's not working overtime tonight."
Yeah, Daniel's
all right.
Stern gives you every possible explanation point on the scene. Like, they're slave drivers, those movie people. I'll tell you, they don't care how much they work a person. And I think a lot of that's his personal venting towards what the production was probably putting him through, right? They don't care how much they work a person. It's like, oh, there she is. Whoa. And of course, what you're referring to is none of us can like not hear a chopper for a few minutes overhead and be like, what is going on out there? And this is supposed to be like something that all the pilots know about. So this neighborhood has been buzzed at rooftop level for probably months, which is hilarious. And then that introduces the concept later that I think has to be introduced when they do some surveillance that plays into the plot of the whisper mode element, which I don't even know if it's a real thing, but it certainly works in the movie. And anyway, so that happens. They fly back to base where Warren Oates, everyone's favorite police captain, Braddock, decides to reprimand him.
0 degrees at 22, altimeter 29 attitude, clear to land. Air 14, wind 150 degrees at 12, clear for takeoff.
The old man wants to see both of you, right now.
Hi.
Like your haircut.
Like yours too.
One of the really fun things about this job, it's reading the complaints of the public. Now, for example, tonight here, we have a fella that didn't appreciate us disturbing his sleep. I just hope I'm not called on by the chief to explain why two of my people were hovering over Encino at 10:30 p.m. while Commissioner McNeely was getting the shit kicked out of her in her very own front yard in fashionable Brentwood.
McNeely, Linden Road, that's her?
Of the mayor's special task force on urban violence. A little touch of irony there if you like that sort of thing, huh?
How is she?
She was shot, Frank. She's in intensive care. Shot by one of the rapists.
Well, the rapist.
Assault and battery, attempted rape, that's what they're calling it downtown.
There wasn't any rape.
Well, the case is closed. They got 2 toes tagged in the morgue to prove it.
That abandoned car we called in. The Chevy. That was a stakeout.
No stakeout. A makeout. A couple of kids that couldn't afford a hot sheet motel.
Kids go to Mulholland. They don't go to a dead-end street in Brentwood. That's not the pattern.
Forget patterns, Frank, period. And get the hell off my desk, will you? Get off.
All right. Doesn't bother you that that car doesn't have any plates? Doesn't bother you that the car wasn't there when we came back? It doesn't bother you that rapists don't travel
I'll
in
tell you
pairs?
what bothers me, Frank, is some bright-eyed son of a bitch may get the idea to ask what the hell you were doing 5 miles out of your assigned patrol area. That's what bothers me. When I'm talking to you, Lyman, good, I'll be looking at you.
Well, I just wanted to say, sir, that was my fault. I talked Murphy into taking us there.
You're supposed to be stupid, son. Don't abuse the privilege. You think I haven't heard about that silly twit out there in Encino? For Christ's sakes. I had 20 years in this outfit when your idea of a big time was sitting in front of the TV tube, watching Bugs Bunny, and gnawing on your fudgesicle. And to jog your memory, Officer Murphy, there are people in this community who do not like police officers. They do not like the idea of helicopters flying over their homes, peeking in their windows. You know what they'll do with this? They'll burn you, me, your idiotic friend here, and my whole damn division. And I don't want my division burnt. So here's the way it's coming down with you guys. You're grounded, both of you.
Grounded.
I gotta figure out where in the hell to hide you for 2 weeks till all this crap blows over. Get out of here, Lyman, good.
You know, the characters are defined and the movie gets going, and this is where I think some people have problems with it. No, not me. I love this movie. My wife loves this movie. I don't care how much sort of canon group mentality or canon group inspired sort of action logistics came out of this. This movie from top to bottom is super fun. Although, like I said, the idea that a guy in the air would want to come down and investigate a crime scene or have some input that the guys on the ground do not have because he's like, this isn't a rape. That's a little bit of a stretch. And the other stretch, what's that?
He does at the shootout at the Circus Liquor store that's, ever famed.
Yeah. How many shootouts have been at Circus Liquor on film? At least 24 come to mind.
We should do a whole segment on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Alex from Quiet Riot.
I'm Dizzy from Guns N' Roses.
I'm Johnny from Typo Negative. I'm Mike from Wasp.
Help us cure NMOSD and with it, cancer.
Go to Guthrie Jackson Foundation
and donate now.